Hey y'all, welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy and I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms, where we are all about faith, family, home, and farm, and in that order. And we're kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So y'all just come on in, grab a seat, take a look, and have a listen, because you don't want to miss a thing. Well, hey y'all, welcome to today's video. Y'all, give me just a moment. I'm checking on dear hubby, checking on the calves. Y'all, we just went through weaning season, weaning time with a couple of calves. If you've never done that, it's not for the faint of heart. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not for the faint of heart. I've been right where these guys are today, but I did it with dairy goats. I went through weaning times, separating mamas and babies. It's not easy. It's not easy. And we've got mama cows fixing to give birth. So we're going to have to go through it all over again, just with more calves this time. It's going to tear my heart out. But, y'all, they're fine. They're going to make it. I'm just checking on him this morning. But welcome to today's video. Y'all saw the title of the video. It is time I started putting, y'all excuse me while I walk back to the kitchen. I just wanted to come gander at him a minute. And y'all saw the title of the video. I'm going to be putting some of my butternut squash to use, y'all. Okay? Now, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm going to be doing, and I'm gonna walk you through the other way of doing it. This is gonna be a roasted butternut squash soup. I'm excited, y'all, because I've never tried it, and y'all, I've got the stuff on hand. Okay, the way I'm going to be doing it is I'm gonna be putting some of my frozen butternut squash to use. I'm gonna let this thaw out. It's morning time. I'm gonna be letting this thaw out. After they've thawed out, I'm going to chop them up into smaller pieces. I'm defrosting an onion, y'all, that we had in the freezer. Y'all, I got a jar of celery here that I canned. I got a jar of carrots here I'm going to put to use. I was going to use some of my sliced carrots, but I guess I've used all them. I can't find any more. So that's okay, y'all. We run out of these, I can always go get some more on sale. Bring them home and can them. Okay, y'all, I'm enjoying my new canner, y'all. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay, I'm also going to be putting some of our roasted peppers in it. Okay, to give it a little kick. I'm going to be using some of my fresh basil from the Arrow Garden. I've got some, I ain't got my glasses on, y'all. Some little celery leaves here I'm going to be sticking in there too. And some parsley. I've got some thyme over there that I'm going to snip when it's time to start putting this in here. Y'all excuse me. I'm battling a cold. And the rest of this video may wind up be me talking, or it may be a voiceover, because I can lose my voice at any minute. I'm battling a cold, and yeah, I could lose my voice at any minute. And I'm constantly having to clear my throat. So I know y'all don't want to hear all that. So I'm going to tell you how I'm going to be doing these. I'm going to be taking my Dutch oven right here. Okay? This is how I'm going to be doing this. But I'll tell you the normal way that you're supposed to do this. Hence, roasted. Okay? But, y'all, I've already got this stuff on hand. I'm going to make do with what I've got. Okay, I'm just going to be doing it different. I'm going to be doing it on a stove instead of the other way. The normal way that you do this, y'all, is you take a butternut squash. I've got a video showing you how I cut up one, y'all. Peel it, everything. Okay, but you take a butternut squash, you peel it, you get the seeds out, and then you just cut it into sections, and then you just dice it up, y'all. Okay, take you a fresh onion, dice it up or chop it up. Take you some celery stalks, chop them up. Take you some carrots, long carrots, chop them up. Okay, y'all, you're going to put this on a baking sheet. a sheet pan, okay? Preferably a big one, okay? And then you're just going to douse in some olive oil and some fresh herbs, and you're going to put it in the oven, and you're going to roast these. Yeah, you're going to roast these, okay? Hence, roasted. But the way I'm going to be doing it, y'all, I'm just going to be sauteing all these vegetables in that Dutch oven right there. One pot. Now, after you get done roasting your vegetables, we'll get to that, okay? But I don't want to mess up a baking sheet this morning, y'all, and heat up my oven. I just want one pot, and I want to do this on the stove, okay? Because it's easy to put together, because these things are not, my mouth is getting dry. These things are not going to require a lot of sauteing time because, y'all, these have already been roasted. My carrots and my celery has already been canned, so they've already been processed. So my cooking time is going to be reduced, okay? If you're starting from fresh and raw everything, and you're doing it in the oven, you're going to have some cooking time, okay? And then we will get to the process that comes next. So when it gets time to do this, y'all, I'm just going to cut up my vegetables, okay? And probably make my carrots a little smaller because I don't have the sliced ones. Cut up my butternut squash, cut up my onion, take my roasted peppers, they're already cut up, and I'm going to dump everything over here in my Dutch oven, okay? And then we'll get to making this soup later on. But right now it's morning time. I got some things to do. I'm going to be letting these thaw out, and then we will get to that here in just a little bit. But just know that there's 2 ways that you can do that. Well, you know what? Actually 3. Y'all, if you don't want to heat up your oven and you just get a hankering for soup any time of the year and you don't want to heat up your big oven, y'all, you can roast your vegetables in the air fryer. My air fryer at home is different than the one that I travel with. Mine at home kind of mimics a stove. It's got 3 wire rack trays in it, okay? So I could roast some vegetables in my air fryer, okay? If you've got the basket air fryer like the one I travel with, you can do them in there. Smaller scale, smaller quantity. And y'all, this is going to make a lot of soup, so we're probably going to eat off it a couple of nights. But what's left over, y'all, if it's a couple of quarts, I can can it and put up for another later use, y'all. You know how like sometimes you accidentally make too much chili, too much soup, and you got a bunch left over? Y'all, you can freeze it or you can can it, put it in your pantry, put it in your freezer, meal for later. There you go. Okay, so, excuse me, y'all. I'm beginning to get hoarse. But you can do it in the air fryer, 2 different air fryers. But I'm going to be sauteing everything in that Dutch oven right over there. If you want to do the roasting first in your oven, cut up all your vegetables, toss them in some olive oil and some herbs, roast them in the oven on 400 till everything gets tender, okay? And then when I get to the point where I'm fixing to do that, I'm just going to show y'all what I do, y'all. So we'll get to that step here in just a little bit, okay? I'll see y'all this evening, okay? All right, y'all, it's time to get this soup to going. I have got my vegetables all cut up. I'll let you see. Okay, I've got my celery and my carrots drained. I've got my onion cut up, got my butternut squash cut up. The first thing I'm going to do is get my onions over here in my Dutch oven, and we're going to start sauteing them. In my Dutch oven, y'all, I have got some olive oil that I infused with some rosemary and some thyme. And that's one of the herbs that is one of the 2 of the herbs that this recipe calls for. And if you're roasting it and you drizzle it in olive oil, you can use fresh herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage. Sage goes good with butternut squash, y'all. But I'm like, you know what? I don't have any fresh rosemary, but I got some thyme over there. And then I happen to remember my oil that I infused, y'all, with rosemary and thyme before. So that's what I'm going to use to saute these onions in. So I'm going to get the onions to saute in and kind of caramelize them just a little bit. And then we'll throw these others in there, saute them around a little bit in that infused oil. And then we'll do that first, okay? And then we'll go to the next step, okay? Ooh, y'all, you hear that sizzle? I'm liking that kind of crustiness on the bottom of the pan too, y'all, because that's going to give some extra flavor. All right, we're going to keep caramelizing these. Y'all want to see? We're going to keep caramelizing these. And then we'll throw the other vegetables in here. Oh, okay. Let it pop a few times. Break these apart. Let these keep caramelizing just a little bit. All right, y'all. I'm loving that caramelization. Now I'm going to add in some of our, if I can get them open, y'all, roasted peppers that I did. And I got a video on that, y'all, because look at that, y'all. Look at those marks. Yes. We're going to throw in some of these. This is going to give it a peppery kind of flavor. Okay. And I want some more roastiness in it. I'm just going to put just a little bit, y'all. The rest of these are going to go in the refrigerator to use for other recipes. We're going to get these roasted a little bit. Or stewed, sauteed, whatever, y'all, in that. Look at that color, y'all. I'm loving that. Oh, y'all, that pepper just hit me. That is going to smell and taste awesome. I'm going to let them saute just for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to add the other vegetables, okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to add these. Saute them for a little bit. Make sure I get every little piece of celery, y'all, and carrot. Y'all excuse me, I got stuff going in the background too, you know, clean as you go. We're going to let these saute for a little bit. Oh, don't want a pepper. Throw away pepper. Oh, y'all, it's smelling so good. I smell the carrots. I smell the peppers. Y'all, everything is infusing together. Now, I'm going to add the cut up butternut squash. Okay, y'all, after I let my butternut squash simmer for just a little bit, next you're going to add the broth of your choice. I just so happen to have had some chicken broth in a canister left on hand, y'all, and I just needed to use it up. Then I went and grabbed some of my vegetable broth, y'all. You can use beef broth if you want to. I'm adding as much as broth as I want for thickness or thinness, okay? It's totally up to you. So you put the amount of broth in there that you think that you need, okay? However thick you want it, however thin you want it, it's optional. You can make this to your liking. Y'all, you see that rich goodness in that home canned vegetable broth? Oh my gosh, okay? That just added extra flavor to that, okay? I'm just gonna stir and get all the flavors incorporated. We're gonna let this simmer for just a little while. Okay, next I'm going to before we let it simmer, I'm going to add all of the herbs that I told y'all I had. I had some on hand. I had some growing in the arrow garden. I believe that's thyme that I'm picking off right now. Yeah, that's fresh thyme that I got from our arrow garden. Oh, y'all, talk about having time on your hands. That stuff smells so good, y'all. Fresh herbs. There is nothing like cooking with fresh herbs and growing them in my arrow garden, y'all. I love it because I can have them on hand at all times. I can dry them. I can use them fresh. I can make salts. I can make butter. I can make oils. Next, I believe that is the celery leaves that I had from some celery that I just wanted to use up, y'all. You can actually add some more greenery in here, y'all, or another green like kale or spinach, y'all, and get some more iron and some greens and some vegetables in your family. Okay, so that was the celery tops. I believe this is basil. Y'all, when you talk about fresh herbs, there's nothing like basil. There's like the holy basil, there's the regular basil. I love smelling of my hands after I get done pinching off basil, y'all, or cutting it up. It smells so good. So you're going to put all your herbs in there. Then you're going to season with salt and pepper. Y'all, if you don't have fresh herbs on hand, you can always use the dried herbs in the bottles, y'all. It's okay. And you can mix and match. You can just use Italian seasonings that's already got all of them in there. Or you can mix and match and just do rosemary and thyme. I believe the sage, y'all, it's not in there. It's not pictured. I haven't grown sage yet in my arrow garden, but I had some dried sage, and I think I put some in there too. So we are just going to stir this. We are going to incorporate all these flavors, and we are going to let this hang out and simmer. I'm just going to put my spatula over there, y'all. Let it hang out. We're going to let this simmer for a little bit on low, y'all. Incorporate those flavors. Now, after this has simmered, I'm going to remove this from the eye. And I want this to just maybe come down just a little bit, y'all, because this is going to be hot, okay? And you see that I removed the lid. I shifted everything, let it cool down just a little bit. Watch that lid, y'all, because it's going to be hot. Now, this is where you want to take an immersion blender and you want to blend and puree all of the vegetables down, hence to make your soup. Please be careful doing this. Try to go slow. You see it's still steaming, okay? It's still hot, and I don't want to splash hot liquid on me, okay? Try not to lift your immersion blender all the way up out of the soup, okay? Because it will get on you. Trust me, I know. I think I did it. Okay, now, if you don't have an immersion blender, there is another way that you can do this. You can take small amounts of the liquid and puree and blend this up in a blender. But please be careful doing this and only use small amounts, putting it in your blender, because heat in a blender, and you turn that on, y'all, it will make your lid blow off your blender and soup will go everywhere. So please use caution if you're going to do this in a food processor, okay? Then when you get done processing it, blending it in the blender, all of it, pour it back into your pot to get ready for the next step, okay? But you are going to want to blend all these vegetables together and puree. Next, after you've got all your soup back in your pot, everything's blended and pureed, this is optional, y'all, if you want a creamy soup. You can leave the soup as is. You don't have to add milk or cream or half and half. You can just leave it as is. But if you want a creamy version, next you're going to add your milk, half and half, or heavy whipping cream. Then you're going to want to blend all that together till it gets all good and creamy and pretty. Next, I am going to pair the soup. I've got it over there simmering, y'all, warming it back up, covered up. It's going to be simmering while I'm going to be making us some grilled cheese to serve with this soup, y'all. There's nothing like soup and grilled cheese, y'all. I'm going to be doing this in my air fryer. You see the wire rack? I'm just taking my bread. I'm buttering one side, putting it buttered side down. And then I'm going to just slap me some slices of cheese on there. Y'all, we love Velveeta cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want.
We just love Velveeta cheese. I grew up with my grandmother making me some Velveeta cheese, grilled cheese, and macaroni and cheese, and my mama. So it's just a kid staple, y'all, in my house. We love it, but use whatever cheese you want to. I'm going to butter the other piece of bread, and it's going to go buttered side up. And y'all, there's nothing like getting this toasty and then slicing it and dipping it in your soup, y'all. It is so good. Tomato soup, pairing grilled cheese with tomato soup. Y'all, this turned out so good. I am having to do a voiceover, y'all, because I wound up losing my voice and coughing, so I'm just having to finish this with a voiceover, okay? So, let's see. Into the air fryer it goes. Y'all, I can't remember what I set it on. I think it only takes, like, in the middle of the oven, y'all, my air fryer, it only takes just a few minutes. I think it's like, gosh, 6 minutes, y'all, 8 minutes. And then the soup is over there simmering. And y'all, I want y'all to look what I'm going to be making for dessert. Dear hubby found this in the grocery store and picked it up, y'all. 0 sugar brownie mix chocolate fudge. He likes his brownies, y'all. He likes a little sweet treat. I just followed the directions on the box, y'all. He read the label, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, or there's really low net carbs, y'all. Had that for dessert. Y'all, this is how it turned out. I served it along with a dollop of sour cream, some bacon bits, and look at those brownies. Thanks for watching.